Tonight on Carlton Sport, England captain David Platt makes his Highbury debut after arriving from Sampdoria. The Gunners are the new boy, Holland's Dennis Bergkamp, a £7.5 million buy from Inter Milan. The Italian giants come to Highbury with Paul Ince in their ranks after his huge move from Manchester United. Hello, yes, it's Arsenal versus Inter Milan tonight here at Highbury. A Highbury transformed this summer after the traumas of last season. Gabriel Clark reporting.
A flash of brilliance or a complete fluke? Whatever your verdict on Naeem's cruel last-minute goal in the Cup Winners' Cup final, it was almost a fitting end to Arsenal's most turbulent season. After the George Graham scandal, Stuart Houston had tried his best as caretaker. But by the end of May, the board had decided it was time for a fresh start. Bobby Robson said no to an English return. At Wembley, Bruce Rioch, into the Premiership with Bolton, was saying nothing.
Will you be with Bolton next season?
And 2 weeks later, Highbury was home sweet home for Rioch. He immediately talked about attracting the very best. And unlike some managers, he actually kept his word. Rioch persuaded the board to bankroll spending previously unheard of, starting with a record £7.5 million for Dennis the Menace.
This is trouble now. It's there by Bergkamp.
David Platt didn't come cheap, but England's captain said it wasn't the money, it was Rioch's brave new world that attracted him to Highbury. And so far, it's all fitting into place. Platt and Bergkamp have sparkled in a perfect pre-season. Suddenly, once again, Arsenal are fashionable and fancied. And with the rough diamond, Ian Wright, still shining at the sharp end, Arsenal's ammunition looks stronger than ever.
Such an eventful summer here at Highbury, but let's now find out the hopes and aspirations of the new Arsenal manager, Bruce Rioch.
Well, I think it's going to be a tremendous Premier League. The teams in the Premier League have spent money this year, Arsenal included. And of course, if you spend money on players, the expectations are enormous for the club. But the expectations at Arsenal have been enormous on every season that they've taken part in the competition. And I think from every manager's point of view, not just my point of view as the manager of Arsenal, but throughout the country, at the beginning of every season, a manager wants success. How he achieves it and how he obtains it is the difficult part. But we hope to be successful.
Cautious optimism then from Bruce Rioch, but now it's time for the action. The teams are on their way here behind me. It's Arsenal against Inter Milan. Let's now join our match commentator tonight here at Highbury, Brian Moore.
Thanks a lot, Bob. And there's a genuine mood of excitement at Highbury, generated, of course, by those two sparkling signings. A full house here tonight, and Arsenal officials can't remember when that last happened, if ever, for a pre-season game. And already their opening game against Middlesbrough on Sunday week is a complete sellout. For the Arsenal side, for this first ever meeting between the two clubs, the defence is familiar and reliable. David Seaman, his second game since his serious ankle ligament injury that he suffered in China at the start of the close season. And in fact, David Platt has had to overcome a slight knock on the knee in order to play tonight. Ian Wright, as bubbly as ever, and looking forward to a profitable relationship with Dennis Bergkamp. Inter Milan's season starts in a fortnight's time. They're still without their Brazilian defender Roberto Carlos. He's been given extra time off after the Copa America. But as well as Paul Ince, they've two signings from the Argentine national squad, 22-year-old Zanetti and 21-year-old Rambert. And they see this as a season when people will start to talk about them as much as their illustrious neighbours who share the San Siro stadium. A referee tonight is Dermot Gallagher from Banbury. It's a busy week for Dermot. He's also in charge of the Charity Shield at Wembley on Sunday. David Platt then, captain of England, his first Highbury appearance in an Arsenal shirt. Dennis Bergkamp certainly found goals hard to come by in his time with Inter Milan. Arsenal, though, well remember his prolific scoring in Dutch football. Collins, in a season of big spending, cost Inter £7 million from Manchester United. They believe he truly will combine effectively in midfield with Berti and Carboni. So Inter Milan get the game underway. Their famous shirts of blue and black. Attacking the goal to our left. The first really serious test for Arsenal this season. They were really on the rampage in Scandinavia, scoring prolifically. They've beaten Southend, they've beaten Wolves, but this is the first really serious test as Dixon gets it back to Seaman. Inter Milan, who nicked a place in the UEFA Cup with almost the last minute of the Italian season. There's Winterburn. Centofanti, his first season with the club. He was signed from Ancona. Certainly the first season for this man, Paul Ince. It's not a bad run though, and he wins a free kick. Says he's finding it tough getting to grips with the slightly different tactical outlook in Italy, and he's suffering tonight a little bit with sinus problems. But he was really looking forward to this match tonight on an absolutely perfect Highbury surface. Carboni playing it in there, and Berti's centre cleared quite comfortably by Arsenal. Centofanti again. Festa, the sweeper. Fresi. Strong challenge there by Tony Adams. Free kick quickly taken by Ince. Centofanti again. Inter have just played a few friendlies without a great deal of competition about them, but they play PSV Eindhoven in 2 or 3 days' time, working up towards their season. Merson into right. Little chip there again by Merson. And corners conceded by Fresi. Steve Bold and Tony Adams forward for Arsenal. Corner knocked away by Nicola Berti. Carboni playing it in again, sweeping forwards. It's been a quick in and out job for Inter. They didn't arrive until lunchtime. They're away back to Italy first thing tomorrow morning. Really is Italian style weather. Good jump there by Bergkamp, picked up by Wright. Knocked on now for Merson. Winterburn making good strides down the left. Merson with a shot straight to the arms of Pagliuca. Italy's national goalkeeper, as he was in the World Cup final. Winterburn made a run which took a defender with him and gave just that little bit of space for Merson. Ince with a header. Centofanti. Bergkamp trying to get in, but was beaten there by Zanetti. Didn't really have a very good time in Milan with Inter. Only 3 goals in 21 league games last season and only 8 in 31 league games the previous season. Here he is again. Gets it back to Dixon. Thought about the early ball in, then plays a more studied one. And Wright hits the crossbar, and Pagliuca could do nothing about it. And Inter breathe again, and Wright hits that one over the crossbar. A stunning shot by Ian Wright. The Italians knew nothing about it, and the crossbar saved them. Ince made the mistake. ball bouncing off the crossbar, just back into play again, and the Italians get it away. Ian Wright so unlucky. 30 goals last season. Merson. Okay. Adams again. Really Spala. Spala being very carefully watched there. But it's Bertie who gets it back. But it was Fresi who was doing the marking job. Adams winning it comfortably in the air. You'd expect him to against little Carboni. Jensen finds Wright, finds Merson, finds Winterburn. Moving well on this good surface. Down goes Winterburn. Winterburn. Bertie gets it away. Bertie doing a lot of defending at the moment. There's a chance here, and it's gone wide. I think the whistle had gone. Bergkamp striking it well wide of the Inter Milan goal. But I sense the whistle had already gone, and there's good movement about this Arsenal side in these early moments, which I would have thought must certainly please Bruce Rioch and Stuart Houston. Dixon. It's a good ball, that. Centre Fanti didn't quite know whether to come for Dixon. He was fortunate in the end to get the ball into touch. Here's Bergkamp. There's the cross towards Ian Wright. Platt also involved there. And then to get it away quite comfortably. Good work by Zanetti. Arsenal claiming a handball by Paul Ince, I think it was, going up for that one. Here's John Jensen. Carboni, Ince. Oh, delightful ball. Played for Lee Dixon. Wright's gone storming into the penalty area. Parler's taken up a good position. Ray Parler now plays the ball in, couldn't find Wright with it. Instead it was Fraser who got it behind for the corner. But what a good ball, first by Platt and then by Dixon, and some good play here by Ray Parler, providing the corner which Paul Merson will take. Goal is up, Adams is up, Platt is in there, Parler's in there. Bergkamp and Wright in the 6-yard area. Played towards Adams. Jensen. And again, played in. Adams might try and get one on the turn, and Parler hits it well wide. He slashed at that one. A cooler head might have got a better result. But Arsenal will continue to make the running. It wasn't far off. Dixon. Jensen. Adams. Right. Down on the left flank now. Winterburn. Merson's cross towards Ian Wright. By him to Carboni. Carboni and Ince combining well. Ince again. Adams is there. Seaman is there. Both of them just denying Maurizio Dance. But Ince involved in so much coming forward for Inter Milan. Vince again. Centofanti. Carboni. Centofanti's got a lovely left foot on him, but can't pick up a Milan player. Hillier ready to come on, number 17. We think it might well be David Platt who goes off. In the meantime, Platt facing this free kick. Talking away to Nicola Berti in fluent Italian, which of course Platt has learnt. Explaining that foul and why he felt the free kick shouldn't have been given. It's been given, and Centofanti is behind this one. Also, Centofanti's stride repulsed by Arsenal. Tony Adams. Ray Parler. Berti. Ince. Centofanti almost gave that to Bergkamp. In the end, backed by Frazee to Taliuka. And the substitution Arsenal now going to make. And it indeed is David Platt going off. Well, I mentioned at the start he's had a slight knee problem. And clearly Arsenal don't want to risk that for too long. David Hillier comes on. Centofanti. Nicola Berti played in both the 1990 and the 94 World Cups, did Berti, the captain tonight. Actually, Giuseppe Bergami, famous fullback, is the club captain of Inter, but he's on the subs bench tonight. Adams. Over 12 minutes of the first half left, still 0-0. Now right on the end of this one, they hit it straight at Frazee. Good work by Bergkamp leading up to it incidentally, and a free kick to Inter Milan. Well, he's lost none of his sharpness through the summer months, Ian Wright, and I can assure you he's lost none of his enthusiasm for the game. Paul Mercer. Made in for Winterburn. And Dixon on the volley, well wide. But again a well-worked move, but a lot of good penetration down the left flank. And again Merson heavily involved in it, and Winterburn. And Merson just playing it in, Winterburn keeping it on its way, and suddenly it looked a real possibility there for Lee Dixon. That's the famous face of Facchetti, who was such a great player for Inter Milan in the 60s. Centofanti. This is Gantz. Lively up front is Maurizio Gantz. He's a new signing as well for Inter Milan. He came from Atalanta, scored 14 goals for them last season. £2.6 million he cost. Here's Lee Dixon. break on here. Hagen to Ince. Oh, he'd love to find the back of the Arsenal net with Paul Ince. I think he suspected that Seaman might have been a yard to do off his line. But I must say I've been impressed with Ince in this Inter shirt in this first 45 minutes. Just tried to lift it over Seaman, but it was far too high. Seaman was back in any case. A really hot day in London. Mercifully, quite a pleasant evening breeze now. Good playing conditions, excellent watching conditions. So far, no goals in this prestige pre-season game between Arsenal and Inter Milan. Zanetti. Last minute of the first half now. Good play. A beautiful dummy work there by Ray Parlour. Here's Dixon. Already so many Inter Milan shirts are back. Bergkamp. It's a long cross by him towards Ian Wright. Jensen might yet get there, and in the end it comes off Frazee for a corner. Also a new signing, Frazee, came this summer from Foggia. So the new signings have done pretty well for Inter so far, but it's still 0-0. They face this corner to be taken by Paul Merson. Bold is trying to get there. Adams might try and get there. Wright certainly will. And a real tussle there with Rambert, and a few arms were flying there, and Wright may just have caught the young Argentinian. And Dermot Gallagher saying, get up, you're not hurt. And it's just off, yes, he did, he catches him. Whether that was accidental or not, well, you must judge that. Certainly the arms were flying around there. The referee, in fact, has given the free kick to Arsenal. Merson's taken it, and Parlour was in there, just over the top. Kaliuka's furious with his defence for leaving him so exposed at the near post there. Few goal chances. Ian Wright smacked the Inter Milan crossbar early in the game. Dennis Bergkamp had, well, very few chances, and indeed at half-time, very evenly poised prestige friendly. Arsenal 0, Inter Milan 0. The second half comes up after the break. Arsenal get the second half underway. Inter Milan have made 2 substitutions. Bergami, their captain and fullback, is on, and Del Vecchio, the striker, is on. It's Carboni and Centofanti who've gone off. Well, here's Gantz making an early run. He couldn't pick up Del Vecchio, and it's Arsenal now leading this break with Merson. Straight to Kaliuka. And here is Bergami. Giuseppe Bergami, 31 years old, 77 caps for Italy. And it's Bruce Rioch and Stuart Houston gets. Ince, one man in the air. Adams. And now Winterburn. May well have twisted a knee as he shot on the ball there. Gantz. And on the far side. Bertie's shot well wide. Goal kick. And Merson in the meantime looks as though he might well have twisted a knee there. I think it was as he trod on the ball there, and Gary Lewin very quickly around there. And then lost the ball there, twisted, bumped into the number 17 Frazee. And needs this bit of treatment now. He's looked full of good things tonight, Paul Merson. Start of an important season for him. Bergamy beating right in the air. Berti winning it in the air as well. Ince trying to come through on the break for Inter Milan again. Again it's with Nicola Berti. Bottom now, the second half gone now. Dixon's throw for Arsenal. Truth to say, it's a fairly nondescript start to the second half. Frazee. Bergamy to Zanetti. Berti. Oh, it's not a bad ball if Bianchi can just keep it in play, but he can't. It's a goal kick. Right in front of all the Italian fans in that corner of the ground. Might find service is a bit slow in your favourite Italian restaurant tonight, I would think. There's so many London Italians here, and they're really enjoying seeing their favourites here at Highbury Stadium. Substitution. And Merson's going off. Obviously that little twist of the knee is something not to be messed around with. Glenn Helder comes on. Bergamy. Bianchi. Three Arsenal players around him. The ball still comes back to Bianchi. Finds Zanetti with it. Bianchi goes crashing to the floor, touching his leg as Bergamy knocks the ball forward, but again Adams is there. Ince getting this move going. Berti keeping it going for Inter Milan. Paul Ince almost on the end of it. Press box, and has scored that vital goal that won the Cup Winners' Cup for Arsenal, now retired as a player, Alan Smith. Berti. Ince again. Good, typical run of this by Ince. Still not giving up. Del Vecchio, the little chip on by him, and Gans just heading it fractionally wide, but all that's instigated in the first place by Paul Ince. Well, he might well be suffering with his sinuses, but he's full of fire and running and good thoughts. Very close to producing something for Inter Milan there. Foul on right, free kick to Arsenal. Arsenal want to make another substitution. I think it's John Jensen who's going, number 30, and Martin Keown coming on. Of course, throughout the European campaign last season for Arsenal, although he's principally a central defender, did a really good marking job most of those ties as a midfielder. Winterburn. Helder. That's a good break by Glenn Helder. That's a foul by Bergamy, and that's a free kick for Arsenal, right on the corner of the penalty area. Bergkamp coming behind this one. We haven't really seen Arsenal in this sort of situation. It's Bergamy. I can only think if this had been a truly competitive game, the referee might have wanted words with Bergamy. Kaliuka wanting the two-man wall properly lined up. Bergkamp hitting it straight to Ince, right turning it back, way over where the North Bank used to be. Goal kick. Well, he won't be too unhappy that they don't face a defence like Inter Milan's every week of the season. Seno, free kick. Ince to Berti. Ince again. Fresi. And Festa. A long back pass from Ray Parlour. Dixon. Forward to Ray Parlour. Keown's waiting in the middle along with Bergkamp. Arsenal get a corner. Rolled up at the near post, looking for the little flick on. Adams coming up. Keown in a bit of space on the edge of the box. And there's Keown with a header. In fact, for the second time in the game, Ian Wright smacks the ball against the Inter Milan crossbar. Here and again. It's done well here. Takes two to get the ball away for Inter Milan, but in the end they succeed in doing so. Zanetti. That's a good ball too. Chased by Festa. And cut out easily by Helder. Now Arsenal on the counter-attack. Right away on the left. I don't know what Helder was trying to do there. Bergkamp had no chance of getting that one. Well, Arsenal again so close to the opening goal. There was space there for Martin Keown. There was his header. Right banging the ball against the crossbar as he did in the first half. And Inter escaping again.
Tonight's attendance, 37,055.
The attendance 37,055. It's a full house here for a pre-season game. That's how much excitement's been generated by the likes of David Platt's arrival and Dennis Bergkamp's, and the return of Paul Ince with Inter Milan. Here's Ince driving forward again for Inter Milan. Hitting it wide for Zanetti. Ooh, and a good header down, and just saved by David Seaman. Vecchio pulling himself away to that far post as the long cross came in of the header. And just for a moment, Seaman was in a little bit of trouble, supported there by Winterburn. In the meantime, Martin Keown has got an injury. Early season knocks and bangs.
Gary Lewin knows there's going to be plenty of work in the course of a long, hard season. Any physio knows that. They would have liked a victory, of course. No doubt they've seen good things in this Arsenal side against a very, very efficient Inter Milan team. In the meantime, it's Bianchi with the corner. Keown with a header, in fact. Zanetti. Getting back to Maniconi. Ince. Again, Martin Keown gets the ball clear. Inside the last couple of minutes now, as the ball is played in. Chance now, and some great work there by David Seaman, holding off Del Vecchio. Seno. Well, that's the first time, actually, in the whole game that he's been called into really serious action. And there was an excellent piece of goalkeeping by David Seaman. Threw himself at the challenge of Del Vecchio. And Arsenal now looking for something on the break, but that stopped as Inter Milan take possession again. Bianchi. Ince. Stopped by Hillier that time. Bergkamp. He's had a fairly quiet time with it, to be fair, Dennis Bergkamp. Oh, Helder jumping at the opponent there. Oh, and fun and games there between Fester and Helder. With a bit of pushing and shoving. And in the end, a free kick. It was definitely a foul by Helder. Ince. Gantz getting it back again, hits Parlour with it. Gantz retrieves it once more for Inter Milan. Ince. This was a European tie, of course. Inter will be delighted with this because they've defended really well. They've kept Arsenal's chances very few and far between, right, with 2 against the crossbar, of course. Maniconi, Zanetti, Seno. Now Ince. Seno again, just chipping it through to Paul Ince. Hits the ball straight at Adams. Now Hillier. Can Arsenal make a break here? Bergkamp. No, still won't go his way, and there's a foul there by Bergkamp, and in any case, there's the final whistle. It's been tough for Arsenal against a tight defence, although in fairness Arsenal have offered few chances themselves to Inter Milan. One great save from Seaman, and Arsenal will say, well, but for a crossbar, Ian Wright might have scored twice. He smacked it against the crossbar in the first half and did exactly the same in the second as well. Well, Paul Ince, back in England, had an effective game in the midfield for Inter Milan, who looked a really impressive side. So this prestige friendly in front of a full house at Highbury finishes Arsenal 0, Inter Milan 0.
Well, that's the end of the action, but still more to come after the break. We'll be hearing from, amongst others, Dennis Bergkamp. We'll also be taking a look at the other top London clubs. That's all in a couple of minutes. Hello again from Highbury, where Arsenal have drawn 0-0 with Inter Milan in this pre-season friendly. We can hear now from some of the key figures.
Bruce, you said in your programme notes you were still on a learning curve. What have you learnt tonight?
Well, I've learned that we've played well for 20 to 30 minutes in the first half. Very well indeed against a top-class team, International Milan. And compared to the opposition that we faced in Sweden, these are far better, obviously. And so the game itself wasn't going to be an open game. It wasn't going to be a game that you could walk away with. But in the second half, we gave the ball away too easily. And therefore, you know, you can't score goals if you give the ball away too easily. But I was delighted with the first 25, 30 minutes of the game. I thought our movement and our passing and togetherness in our combination play was excellent. And I think we'll learn from the game Our fitness level in terms of the match fitness will get better, obviously. That's the benefit of playing this type of game. And the teamwork will get better because the more games you play together, the better it gets.
Were you frustrated, though, because of that last hour or so, because you've come here 5 wins out of 5, because so much talk had been so positive coming into this game?
I wasn't frustrated. I thought it was an interesting exercise for us to watch. First half was delighted, as I said, with the game. Second half, not so pleased. But then, defensively, we played solid. I think they've had 2 chances late in the game. We've had some good chances in the first half. Ian Wright's hit the bar in the second half. And goals can change the course of the game. But it's a preparation game. It's a preparation game for the start of the season. And the game against Middlesbrough is the most important game of the season for us. And that's really what we're working towards.
Dennis, what did you make of your first game at Highbury?
Well, of course, it was the first home game, and yeah, first of all, I enjoyed it very much with a full house and against my old team. So yeah, it was a special night for me.
The friendlies had gone so well up to this point. Was there a sense of anticlimax at the end for you?
I don't know. I think we started very well the first half. That we had some good chances, and yeah, the second half we forgot to play that way, and just I think we can work that out. We have another week to work about those things, and I think we can work it out.
Was the manager disappointed at all, Bruce Rioch, afterwards?
Well, not really. I think as I said before, the first half we played a very nice game. When you make it difficult for an Italian defense, I think you do very well. And yeah, of course, as I said, again, that's about the second half. We could do better, and we got another about 7-8 days to go. So
it is a learning curve, of course. I think Bruce said that in his programme notes. Inter played you tough, didn't they? They didn't come here and have just a kick about. They were up for this. It was serious business for your old club.
Yeah, no, of course, Italian competition, and yeah, all games there are sort of these games, and that yeah, they can't afford to lose, so they play very, very, very tight and very, very strong. And of course, they know me very well, and yeah, it's difficult to play them.
What about your role, and what about the team you've joined? Are you pleased? Do you feel pleased with the way you're playing?
As I say, it's silly doors at the moment.
Swinging capital of London's soccer scene. When he left for Bayern Munich, a sour taste lingered with Alan Sugar, who couldn't stop Nick Barmby, homesick for the northeast, going either. At least Darren Anderton turned down Manchester United and signed a new contract. But a dreadful run of injury problems and back-page headlines of the wrong sort have made it look like a summer of discontent for Sheringham and the rest.
I don't start speculating on who I'm going to be playing.
Wrapping up Ruud Gullit on a free transfer has left Glenn Hoddle smiling all summer long. Gullit's 33 now, but worldly wise and ideal, says Hoddle, for the sweeper role central to Chelsea's European style. And Mark Hughes didn't take much convincing. Hoddle is heading in the right direction. By the time Manchester United realised Hughes had not signed his new contract, the Welshman had settled down to scoring goals down south. Much will be expected of the new-look Chelsea and the old boys Gullit and Hughes in the months ahead.
There are a lot of good games, and I look forward to play against a whole lot of teams, and it's a new adventure, new challenge, and I look forward to it.
The club hasn't been consistent over the last 20 years in the league, and we would want to do that. And we would want to be, our sight is in the top 6, and as for championships, that takes 6-7 years sometimes if you're given the time.
Les Ferdinand's departure has left one of the biggest holes at Loftus Road. But in the end, Queen's Park Rangers couldn't really say no to a player who wanted to leave or to Newcastle's £6 million. But Ray Wilkins must have confidence in youngster Kevin Gallen maintaining his progress. Instead of buying a direct replacement, Wilkins has gone for Australian defender Ned Zellick and midfielder Simon Osborne, who looked good in blue and white hoops at Reading.
Well, we finished 8th last year, and hopefully we can go a little bit better. I think it's always nice to aim slightly higher than where you finished last time. We're no exceptions, and we really want to put up a good show for ourselves.
Some reckon he thrives on the pressure. Harry Redknapp knows everyone expects him to be in for more of the same this season. He has managed to squeeze £1 million out of the bank account for Dutch striker Mark Boogers, And the first-team squad that played its way out of trouble remains intact. Tony Cotty's contribution could be significant once more. So could Don Hutchinson's talent and temperament. Because once again, the bookies have made West Ham favourites for the drop.
To buy people like Bergkamp must be lovely for him and David Platt, but I'm pleased with what we've got. We've got some good players, and I think it's nice when you pit yourself against them sort of sides and you're the underdogs and everybody's tipping us to finish bottom of the league. I mean, I think in every list there's us or Bolton a tip to finish bottom, so we were the same last year, and I'm sure we'll prove people wrong again this year.
The match-fixing allegations surrounding goalkeeper Hans Segers have overshadowed Wimbledon summer, but some things never change. The club still have to break even, and Newcastle's $4 million for Warren Barton was business that had to be done. But Joe Kinnear is one of the best at adapting against those sort of odds. He's dipped down the divisions to fill the gap. His much-admired striker Dean Holdsworth is still around, and so is the embodiment of that special crazy gang spirit, owner Sam Hammam, just itching for people to write his team off again.
Well, so far it's been about new season hopes, but last night in Glasgow it was all deadly serious as the champions of Scotland Rangers took on the champions of Cyprus Anorthosis Famagusta in the preliminary round of the European Cup. The commentary came from Alan Parry.
Gascoigne. McCall, the target, and he did well to make the cross, and there's a chance here. Yes! Jury gets the breakthrough Rangers wanted. "69 minutes gone, and the substitute Gordon Jury gives Rangers the lead."
Full credit though to McCall. He managed to keep that one in play, wraps his leg round it. Watch how he keeps this one in play. Not only keeps it in play, gets a hook on it. Good first touch from Jury. A little bit fortunate through the keeper's legs, but they all count. And you just had the feeling that that's been coming for a while now.
And we're almost out of time, except to tell you that Ensley League Extra returns next Monday night. All the best goals, all the best action. That's next Monday night. As for tonight here at Highbury, well, it's finished Arsenal 0, Inter Milan 0. It might well have finished 2-0 to Arsenal if they hadn't put a new coat of paint on the crossbars at each end here at Highbury. From all of us, bye-bye.